What is up, my fellow operatives? My name is Taff Taylor. You can hear me great. If you can't, I'm sorry for the quality. Today I'm making a simple, easy classic home recipe that a lot of people like. I'm making spaghetti. I'm going to use some thin spaghetti noodles I got from Walmart. This is the kind. I got it's a 16-ounce box. This is enough for like 3 or 4 people. We're going to use some Bertolli's Parmesan Romano with cracked black pepper sauce. And I might add a little bit of this flavored with meat pasta sauce, just in case. First thing you want to do, get you about 2 pounds of meat. Just depends on how many people you're feeding. If you're doing just 2 people, 1 pound is perfect. So what I got is a hot pan here. I'm going to start off with some olive oil. I'm not using a medium pan, a medium frying pan like I normally do. The reason being is because I've got 2 pounds of meat and it won't hold 2 pounds of meat. So let's get that oil nice and hot. Remember, heat your pan up first before you put your oil in it. And then what I'm going to do, I got my meat ready. Go ahead and just drop it in. Now, this is what I do when I make my spaghetti. You don't want to just throw the meat in, cook the meat, throw the sauce in, and then be done with it. That's just so bland, so plain, so boring. What I like to do is I like to add stuff to my meat before I even use the sauce. This is that crumbled meat, it just crumbles. That's what I like about it. Get all that in there. Right. Make sure you wash your hands. What we're going to do with this meat, we're going to brown the meat. When we brown it though, we're also going to season it. So I got some salt. Add some salt in it. Cat room. Pepper. Fresh ground black peppercorn pepper. Can't ever have too much. This is probably just starting. I'm going to add some more here in just a little bit. So I'm going to just do salt and pepper for right now. Get this meat going. I got this on about a medium-high heat. You don't want to cook it too fast. And I let my hamburger meat sit out for about 10 minutes. You don't want it ice cold. If you remember me saying that about meat. This is ground chuck also, not ground beef. Ground chuck is a little bit, it's more like 80-20, 80% lean, 20% fat. Your ground beef is more like 70% beef, lean, and 30% fat. It's your choice however you want to make it. But with my recipe, I use ground chuck. Sometimes I use ground sirloin. I'm going to show you that in another video, what I do with ground sirloin. I make my burgers with ground sirloin. It's the only way I eat my burgers now. Once I've had it that way, that's another video. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some Italian seasoning, as you can see. That's going to give it a nice little pop in its flavor. And I'm letting a little bit, because I like a little bit of heat, just a little bit of crushed red pepper. Not too much. It'll come out. Not too much. Add some more salt. I got 2 pounds of meat here, so I have to add a little extra seasoning. Remember that. Add some more ground pepper. And then last but not least, I'm going to add some Creole. Love that Creole, especially on them chicken tenders, but this stuff is good on everything. Get you a good little batch in there. I'm gonna mix it up. See what I'm doing is I'm gonna brown my meat, but I'm gonna flavor it before I put the sauce in it. If my meat has flavor, then I know when that sauce mixes with it, it's gonna be even better. And if we have that smell-o-vision, I promise you, you smell it. You can add a little extra stuff to this if you wanted to. Sometimes I put onion in this with my meat. I usually do. I thought I had an onion before I come home today when I went to go get some more ingredients, and I was wrong. I didn't have an onion. Onion just helps the meat a tiny bit more. Your choice whether you want it in your meat or not. This is spaghetti with meat sauce, my version. Just mixing that meat up. Again, medium-high heat. We're not going to use the sauce at all until the meat is brown and done and ready. What I like to do is make that meat to where it just tastes so good by itself, where it doesn't even need the sauce. But then when you add the sauce, it just adds that extra to it. Also, thing I want to show you is how to cook noodles the right way. A lot of people just get it wrong. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Now, stage my little setup right here for my noodles. One thing you want to do with your noodles is get you some boiling water first. This isn't going to take long. This entire dish will be about the length of this video. It shouldn't be no more than 10-15 minutes, if that. The longest part really is the noodles. And that is what I'm about to start right now. Now, here's something you really want to do. Get your water, the fastest way to boil your water is start it with hot water. Turn your sink faucet to hot. Get that water piping hot. Turn your stove on high. I got my sink water hot. Woo. Fill it up about halfway, about 60%, 50 to 60% every pan. I'll show you the trick. Alright, there's my water, right? That's going to start boiling. Hot water helps it boil fast. Now here's another key ingredient you need to do. Add salt to your water. That's going to help the boil, and it's going to help those noodles separate, right? Just put some salt in your water. And olive oil. Just put a splash of olive oil in. It's going to help those noodles separate and not stick together. The salt helps it boil and tenderizes it. So what we're going to do is before you put your noodles in, you get your water to a boil. So while we wait on that, we're going to go back here to our meat and stir it around some more. See it's starting to turn brown? Who doesn't like home-cooked spaghetti? Every time I go to any Italian restaurant, I get their homemade spaghetti, Olive Garden, whatnot. It's good, but it's just, I mean, I love pasta. I love Olive Garden. It's one of my favorite places. But just something about homemade pasta is better than getting it from there. My water's getting ready to boil. I know it's going to get hot. My meat's getting about where I want it. Open your noodles. Get them ready. One of the most basic, simple noodles you can do. You can do this with any noodles. With what I'm showing you, this is how you should cook all noodles, especially spaghetti noodles. You could do regular spaghetti or the thin spaghetti. You could do it with angel hair, linguine, pasta, whichever you prefer for your pasta. I'm using thin spaghetti because these are thin noodles. They're not super thick, but they taste awesome. Now, my meat is done. Got it nice and crumbled up. Still waiting on that water. Now this is what I do. First thing I want to do is taste my meat. I want to see if it's seasoned enough for me. If it's not, I'm going to add some more seasoning and mix it up. Go ahead and leave it on that eye still. Okay. It's about where I want it. It's almost exactly where I want it. If your meat tastes bland to you, and it tastes like it needs more seasoning, put more seasoning in it. I promise you. I'm going to add a little more salt. A little more pepper. I'm going to touch this Creole. And I'm doing this because I want my meat seasoned good. Go ahead and bring my eye down to low. We're going to do that because when we add the sauce, the meat's already done. We don't need to cook it. We're just going to have that low heat on. Still waiting on that water to start boiling. Should be about there. I'm going to taste our meat again. We're going to test it. How do you think? Now remember, it can have a little bit of heat in it from that crushed red pepper if you put that in there. Alright, so turn your eye to low, just keep it on low. I'm going to take my meat and I'm going to drain it into this strainer over the sink. Okay? Now don't keep your pot right by the sink, because when you pick up that strainer, all that grease is still going to be draining, and you don't want to carry it over the floor. I'll let that sit there for just a second. My water is just about boiling. But here's what we're going to do. Take your noodles out. I do this. They'll fall out accordingly. There we go. There we go. Should come out nice bundle like that. Don't pour it all in there. We don't want to do that, okay? Now here's the trick. Don't break. Some people used to break. I did it. Everybody's done it. Don't break them. You do it this way, I promise you'll never eat noodles another way again. So stick your noodles in and just let them fall. Alright? What you want to do is let them sit there for about 20-25 seconds. What that's going to do is let that start to melt near the bottom, and then I'll show you what to do from there. Okay, our meat should be good, nice and drained. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that off here in just a minute. Noodles should be nice and tender now. Now what were you going to do? Get you some tongs, okay? You want to pull your spaghetti together and just start bending. You're not trying to break them, you're trying to bend them. And just kind of work it in there like you're trying to just get them to curl. Once you get them in there, because they're heating up, see, it takes a little work. Because you want your noodles to be long. They taste better that way. There we go. See how they're working in? Because they're bending. Almost in. There we go. Now, sometimes they're going to break. They're not going to be perfect. But all that matters is that they're in there. Nice, curly fries. fairly tossed it really. And you shouldn't have to do anything more with that except let it sit and cook. Now, we got our meat here, right? First thing I'm going to do is add some diced tomatoes. Get you a can of these awesome diced tomatoes. Drain them a little bit. Adds to the sauce. Pour that in first before you pour your sauce in. Then we're going to mix it up. So your meat's done, you drain the grease, it's seasoned the way you want it, you add your diced tomatoes to it, it's going to look something like that. Kind of like the tacos we did that one night. Alright, we're going to open our sauce, pour that baby in. Perfect. I got 2 pounds of meat. If you don't want it so saucy, you might have just 1 jar is perfect for 1 pound of meat. It might almost be too much. Because this looks like a lot of sauce already. But it still needs a little more. That's why I got my backup. Now, let's see. Actually, that might be perfect. You want it more saucy? Make it more saucy. Mix it up. Just mix it up nice and good. If you want to taste test it, put your tomato in there. I think that looks pretty good. What do y'all think? I think that's going to be perfect for just 1 jar. That means we could save the other jar for later. So, 1 jar of this is 24 ounces, is good for 2 pounds of meat. Now, if you want it in your 1 pound of meat and make it super saucy, that is totally up to you, and that is okay. But this came out really, really well. So my meat's staying on low, and it's just tenderizing. The noodles should be getting to where they're getting tender. Go ahead and help separate them a little bit. And that is that. That off. You just basically want to make sure that your noodles get tender. That's almost done. And I can show you how to do that from there. Remember that strainer? We'll clean it real quick. The noodles are starting to boil. That right there shows that they're about done. And you're probably wondering, Taff, how do we know our noodles are done? Well, obviously they're going to be real loose. But if you really don't know, if you really got to make sure, take your noodle out. like that, right? Place it on your napkin to drain for just a second. And after it drains, get you a noodle and try it. If it's too crunchy, then it ain't done yet. Just a few more minutes. Bloopers. See the noodles right there? So, you got our meat now.
But they're selling for like 30 or something. Carry. You can save up and start getting those bonds.
Look at that. How that's done. Now, just wait a few more minutes on the noodles. Remember, you don't have to adjust the heat at all. That olive oil and salt is keeping it separated. Keeps them from sticking. Almost done. And you can add this to a plate or a bowl. I prefer mine on a plate. I used to be just the regular type, just like everybody else, put it on a bowl. I like mine on a plate. Let's try another noodle. You're getting real flimsy now, real. Look at that, see? Place it down on your napkin, like so. Almost done. Still got a little hardness to it. You want it to be tender. Now what I'm about to show you with these noodles, you can make a meal on just the noodles. You don't even have to have the sauce, I promise you. When I first tried my noodles like this, I was like, wow. These are awesome. So what I'm going to show you is you're making your spaghetti, you got your spaghetti sauce, it's done, it's ready, but you can't just have plain Jane noodles. No sir, we're gonna season those noodles. Just like that, yeah. All right, these are just about done. Go ahead and take you a few more out, take you a noodle out. Make sure. Oh yeah. Okay, they're done. Now, turn your heat off. Take your noodles. Drain it into your strainer. Now, here's a quick thing to do. You obviously put it in the strainer. Because you want to get that water out, right? Of course. Now, pick your strainer up. It still has water in it. That's okay. Let that water drain into your pan now. Place your strainer on top. Like, what the hell are you doing that for? Let me show you. First thing we're going to do, salt. This is my favorite part. Add some salt to it. Pepper. Trust me, there's never too much pepper. A touch of this Italian seasoning. And then last but not least, the finishing touch, olive oil. Pour that olive oil on top. Now, from there, give it a nice mix. You can make a, oh man, that smells so good. You can make a meal off of just the spaghetti noodles. That is perfect. You can almost smell. Look at that. See the seasoning on it? That is good. That's great right there. Now, get you some noodles. Twist it. Just like that, right? And that. Get your sauce. Get you about 2 scoops. And then if you want bread, add your bread to it. And that is your spaghetti with meat sauce. See you all later.